Hi everybody, today I would like to give you some short thoughts on audience. Number one, first, the speaker welcomed the people to introductions to economic. Next, he introduced the textbook for that course, Economic for the New Millennium was available at the university bookstore. He said the price was a bit steep, however it was well worth it. After that, he reminded to bring the book to the next class because there would be two exams, the midterm and the final. Finally, he said they would write several short research papers. Number two, first, the speaker suggested being aware of their return policy. She asked the people not to accept any returns from customers without a dated receipt. Next, she suggested checking to make sure all return items were in good condition before accepting them because they had problems in the past with customer returning the damaged goods. After that, she reminded to issue store credit, not cash for returns. Finally, she suggested telling her if they received complaints. Number three, first, the speaker introduced the Dr. Gap Breathe office. Next, he suggested hanging up and calling an ambulance if there was any emergencies, or calling back during the regular office hours if the people would like to make an appointment or ask for medical advice. After that, he announced they were open from 10 to 6 Monday to Friday and from 9 to 12 on the first Saturday of the month, each month. Finally, he suggested making an appointment because they didn't accept to make walking. Number four, first, the speaker asked the flight attendant to remind the passengers that they would be landing shortly. Next, she suggested checking to make sure all seat belts were fastened and asking the passengers to turn off all the cell phone and the recording devices. Finally, she asked to find out if there were anyone with small children requiring extra assistance or if anyone needed help getting a connecting flight. Number five, first, the speaker announced the following was the public service announcement brought to the people by the radio XYZ. Next, he said the government officials were asking all the city residents to conserve water because of the drought. The governments were asked not to fill the swimming pools or water the gardens until further notice. After that, he announced the government was asking residents to do this on the voluntary basis because if the situation became severe, it was possible that fine could be imposed. And finally, he suggested staying tuned to Radio XYZ for all the latest updates. Number six, first, the speaker thanked for calling the city hotline, and she announced their information source for the city events. Next, she suggested pressing 1 for theater schedules and ticket order, pressing 2 for museum information including information on special exhibits, the lecture series and the art museum, and the foreign film series at the history museum. and pressing 3 to hear about upcoming sports event at the stadium. Finally, she suggested staying to speak to an operator. Number 7. First, the speaker announced to the History Museum was their last stop that day, and they would spend 2 hours there. Next, she suggested recording to them at the front desk across more fee, and he also had free information or brochures about the permanent exhibit for anyone who was interested. Finally, he announced they were asked to return to the bus no later than 5:30. The bus would take them to their hotel, where they would enjoy dinner and evening program. Number 8. First, the speaker announced they had heavy traffic that morning because a car broke down on Route 1 near the airport. So she asked to avoid Route 1 if at all possible. Next, she said road construction was slow in traffic over the city bridge, so she suggested preparing for a long slow drive to work that morning. Finally, she suggested taking a bus or subway if they can. Number 9. First, the speaker wanted to know if the company was looking to hire skilled computer technicians, and if the company wanted to hire technicians who had been trained with state-of-the-art equipment. Next, she introduced graduates of the Computer Technology Institute were highly trained and skilled technicians able to handle all routine technical problems. All institute graduates were eligible to become the certified computer technicians. Finally, she suggested hiring one that day. Number 10. First, the speaker said that buying a house could be confusing, especially in today's market. Next, he said the first step was obtaining a loan from the bank. He suggested getting the necessary paperwork from a bank officer to apply for home mortgage. Finally, he reminded to have proof of their income and financial assets, because this could help the officer determine how large the loan they qualify for. Thank you for watching.